Since a hop, hey y'all with
Hey guys, we are back. We had a little bit of technical issues, but thank you for being patient with us and tuning in. So, as I was saying before, September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and we usually do an open mic at the Apex Museum near the end of the month. Because of COVID, we can't do that. So, we thought that we would still give you a small taste of what our open mic is like and bring in some talent, and also just have you guys here with us to celebrate Sickle Cell Awareness Month.
Right. So it's usually a bunch of different activities going on. And of course, everybody has gone virtually, not just us, with their activities. So make sure if you're interested in just learning some more information, some of the seminars and things that are going on virtually are free. So find out what your local organization is doing for the month of September. So we do have a special guest with us today that's going to help us bring in our open mic for this month. This is just part one, and we'll do part two on September 28th, which is the next show. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my poem. It's called A Blessing and a Curse. Bear with me, y'all. I tried to memorize this. But I always get nervous when I read my own stuff, so just bear with me.
We know how it is. We got your back.
Thank you. I have a blessing and a curse. Wish my parents had have gotten tested first. The pain is so unbearable, it just hurts. Going through this crisis makes me feel lower than dirt. Doped up while I'm hooked up to all types of IVs. Stupid freaking nurses, they don't listen. They don't know me. Can't get my vein, another nurse is what I need. God, take this pain away and get me out of here, please. Can't get any insurance, so I'm stuck going to one place. Grady, going only to Grady because the $3 copay is what they'll take. Make an appointment for 10 a.m. and end up sitting there all damn day. Seems like being pregnant or having a baby and being disabled is the only way to get Medicaid. Wait a minute. But because I'm not sick enough and I'd rather work, I don't qualify for SSI. Not taking into consideration that this is making blood vessels burst in my eye, or the deteriorating bones in my shoulders, hips, and spine that hurt so bad I can't do anything but cry. But I still walk around like everything's all good. Well, at least I try. On the other hand, I guess I should be happy that I'm so lucky, because others had to deal with strokes and transfusions and things I never had to see. I know a ton of people who've even died from this disease. Can you imagine seeing and knowing that, what it does to my psyche? Although this illness is more common than you think, still many are clueless. And explaining what it is and what we go through seems so useless, because a lot of the questions that they ask seem so freaking stupid. But we gotta remember that not everybody knows about this disease that's so ruthless. But because of this curse, I'm blessed to have an awesome network and support system. People who understand and have witnessed the same thing, so they listen. For I may not have known who I know or have been who I am without them. So I guess this is how God planned my life. It's all left up to Him. That's it. So I wrote that back in 2008, actually, and some of the things are a little outdated. Some of them are still very accurate if you're in the community.
It sounded on point to me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So my experiences, because at that time, we didn't have Affordable Health Care Act, and I kept getting denied for disability. So I was like, well, I just want Medicaid, because we couldn't get insurance with the pre-existing condition. So
I remember when you was going through that too.
Yeah, so this is when I wrote it. I couldn't get any insurance. Grady, oh my God, be there literally all day. Make an appointment for 10 a.m.
You had to pack a lunch.
Literally, I packed lunches. I took books. I took word puzzles. Like, it was just crazy. So some of that, like I said, is still accurate.
So do you think, since you said it's a little bit outdated, in comparison from then to now, what has been the improvement, I guess?
Just overall, or
Yeah.
with Grady?
No, not with Grady. Just
Okay.
overall. Like how you were feeling, your mindset in that moment versus your mindset in the moment now. Has it changed at all?
I can't really say, because even though I'm on disability now, it still took a minute to get that. And now, like, my condition has gotten worse. Since then, I've had my hips replaced. Since then, I've had my spine actually diagnosed with ABN. Since then, I've had my shoulders to get worse. So it's like it had to get worse before I was actually approved. And it's about the same.
That's crazy. It's almost like you apply for a disability because you need it, because this disease is debilitating at times, and then at times you're just like quote unquote normal,
Right.
and you can do everything that everyone else can do, but you're penalized for those moments where you are quote unquote normal,
Right.
but they don't see like the bigger picture of like everything that's breaking down in your body. And it's like, what do I actually have to go through in order for you to see the need that I have?
Right. And it's like I said, even with the issues with the eyes, I've had tons of laser surgeries, and even just going forward, we're still penalized by the system if we're taking care of ourselves. Now it's like they want to pull our assistance because we're doing what they want us to do. However, with sickle cell, it's not going anywhere. So we're going to always be dealing with some aspect of it,
Yeah.
So,
Taylor, like we said, this is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So what is it that like you would like to see from our local foundations and nonprofits during this month, other than, walking for sickle cell or blood drives or something? What do you think that can be done to bring more awareness to this disease? Because as we stand now, that's something that we're fighting for, just for recognition.
Okay, so you know how the football teams are, you might go in a grocery store and you see the eggs with the cancer ribbons, and the football teams were pink. My son football team did it last year, right? And I asked them, why y'all not wearing red? And he said, what is red? I said, oh, I'm finna school you then. So, I told him all about sickle cell and all that. And then, everybody got a story from who they knew or what have you.
Right.
So I would like to see more of that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. And not just with the football teams, in more stores, and whether it's grocery stores or wherever, could use more or could have more awareness, and it's not, we try not to compare it to other issues, but to be real about it, we don't get the support that other issues get. So, and I've never gone into, I can name all the restaurants, all the grocery stores, and I've never gone into one and been asked, hey, would you like to donate such and such to sickle cell?
Yeah.
So,
and even like the other day, I went to my doctor's office and I was wearing a mask made by a fellow warrior, LaShanta, shout out. And it had the cells on it, and they were like, oh, that's really nice. I was like, yeah, it's Sickle Cell Awareness Month. I'm wearing this mask all month long. They were like, now this is my doctor's office. They're like, oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea. And so I'm like, Dad, you guys see sickle cell patients. And when October comes around, it's pink everywhere. And September, I found out, is, I think, ovarian cancer month.
mm-hmm.
So I go to a local restaurant and they have teal stuff everywhere. And I'm like, hey, man, like, can we just we can share it. Like, can we just get a portion of that recognition? And I especially would expect my doctor's office to have something up for Sickle Cell Awareness Month with the amount of sickle cell patients that they see.
Right.
Like, I don't even think that that's too much to ask. I'm not comparing it to any other disease. I'm just saying it's like an all lives matter conversation. It's like an all lives matter conversation.
It is, and it's bad, but I feel like that often. Like, I feel like sickle cell is the black lives of the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
So do y'all think that's why we don't get that much?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's look at the camera. Which
yes.
one?
It's unfortunate, but that's the reality of it. And even when we talk to people at the foundation and other people before, when they used to test people in the military for sickle cell, like, the white people would be ashamed
to get back that diagnosis.
Yeah.
And it's like, how I think someone said to me one time that part of the reason why they stopped doing, like, testing across the board was because, like, they had a closed door conversation with the doctor, and the doctor was like, hey, do you know how hard it is to tell a white family that their child has sickle cell? Like, whoa, like, so you guys don't want to test across the board because you don't want to have to be responsible. You don't want the burden to be on you to tell a white family that, because it's not a black disease.
Right.
Like, so that's your ignorance showing there.
Yep. And like you said, people outside of just black people can be impacted, and because these doctors are afraid to tell families that the kids, the whole family is suffering, because they want to be quiet about it, because they're ashamed or may get backlash or whatever else. And I think a lot of them believe, oh, it may be some black in their family, so we don't not say anything, because we might have black in our family.
So what does that mean for my family? What does that mean for my ancestry? What does that say about my history? And then, it goes beyond just the fact that you have someone in your family with sickle cell. Now it's like a stigma that's attached to it. Right. But you have to let that go, because we can't move forward in the medical community and make strides medically if we're still holding on to guilt and all that kind of stuff from the past.
Right.
So y'all think whoever race, right? Not black though. Who, you know what I'm saying? The other races, when they hear the news that they got sickle cell, they just don't do nothing about it, or they just ashamed to do something about it, or what?
I think the families now are open, and it's not so bad like it used to be. The families and the white family that I've met are open. They completely open with it, and they don't have a problem mingling with us and whoever else that needs to know about it. So I want to say a lot of the families now might not be as so closed about it, but also there's ignorance. Yeah, also there's ignorance coming from us, because when these other races come in these, especially the Facebook support groups for help and assistance,
like, this is our disease.
yeah, we look at them crazy. Like, y'all can't come in and steal our disease.
That's so crazy.
Our disease. We don't own this. Or just, oh, you faking, you lying. Like, they get so much backlash when they just want to get help. So it's ignorance from us too.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
but there's a racial awakening happening in this country.
Yeah.
So I think that, maybe because of that, we'll be on the path to things opening up in so many different ways, not just with sickle cell, but just in general.
And from the phone conversations I've been having for like the past month, I feel like because of all this unrest, now the rarest of the rare,
yeah,
we're being looked at, and we're like, people want to help now.
Right.
So it's like,
oh, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of black people with sickle cell.
Let's get them.
That's kind of profitable right now. Let's
go
see
help
what we
them.
can do.
Let's go help them. They need some help, and we do.
We do.
And I'll take it.
Yes.
However you're gonna give it to me.
However they want to give it.
Yes, we need lots of it. So yeah, it's a lot of work to be done. But it's gonna get there. So yeah.
I just want to say this though about y'all too. I love that y'all doing this.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay.
Because it's not a lot of people that is, telling the world about sickle cell.
Yeah.
And even though y'all just starting here, y'all gonna blow up one day.
Thank you.
And
I'm gonna be like,
we received that.
And I'm gonna be like, them my dogs, I know them.
I was on the white couch with them.
Okay, so period. I used to pull up to Mia's house.
Right.
I know her mama.
Wait, and to go back even further, so Taylor is my little sister that we also met at camp. She was one of my camp sisters. Y'all might have seen her in the video that we showed for camp with her picture and her family. Pictures. Yes,
the glow up.
Right.
The glow up. It's real. Because, boy.
So, yes, that's how far we all go back. Camp New Hope days. So that's the starting of everything. The start of everything. So
the Genesis moments.
Right.
And since we're talking about the Genesis moment, this will be a perfect time to segue into Taylor's piece that she wants to share with us today.
I agree.
Oh Lord. Okay.
You got it, girl.
I'm a little nervous. Only because I don't read my poems to people, but I'm gonna do it for y'all.
We appreciate it.
If I can find it, honey. Okay. So this is called Taylor versus Sickle Cell. Hi Taylor, did you summon me? No, please go away and give me a break today. Well, why would you want me to leave? Don't you love me as I do you? Sometimes you act as if you don't know I'm here with all the joy you have. Just please, not today. It's my son's birthday, and I wish to spend my time making him smile and not tied up with your agony. Agony? Agony, you say? What about all the days I've been around? I watched you grow up, and we've been through so much. Yeah, we had some times together, but today you will go away. Wait, let's go down memory lane. I took your spleen out. Sometimes I make you mean. Sometimes I make you seem lazy, though you're not. You just be too weak. I love to come when you're asleep. I love every inch of you, from your head to the bottom of your feet. Nobody, not even your mother, will love you like me. Yeah, okay, I get it. You like to mess up my day or even my week. Yes, I love you because you're a part of me, but I despise you as well. And for all I care, you can go to hell. Now, down the hatchet, my meds go. For today, sickle cell is no more. And that's it.
Yes. You got a bunch of little hearts on people from live, too.
Oh, thank y'all.
Just thought I would share that with you. That was wonderful.
I think a lot of times we have those moments where we're talking to sickle cell like, look, today ain't the day. I got stuff to do.
Girl, today is never the day.
You're right. It ain't never the day.
Like, oh, you here again?
Right. Like, I just woke up and you starting stuff already.
So one Thanksgiving, my mama had just got this new dog, and her husband thought I was talking to her dog, but I was really talking to myself. I'm like, listen, I just need you to chill. We had a good week. I want to make Thanksgiving dinner, and you decide to pop out.
Right.
Hello, go back.
Yeah, it don't care what holiday, what you got planned. It doesn't care. It get excited when you get excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's what we were joking earlier. Like, when you get excited about something, you have to be like, yay, this is wonderful.
excited, Taylor.
That was the best thing I have ever seen in my life.
Sickle Cell want to turn up with you too, and it's like, no, I want to be excited, but I don't want Sickle Cell to be excited with me. So.
Right. It's crazy. This was maybe like 2 years ago. My sister was in town, and she doesn't live here, so that's like a treat when my sister comes in town. And she was able to go see my son do his thing in the marching band, and she hadn't seen it before. So we're sitting there, and I'm at the game, and sickle cells start creeping up, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, okay, I just got to make it to the end of this game. Like, I don't want to ruin it for my son. I don't want to ruin it for my sister. I don't want to ruin it for my niece and my nephew who've never seen him. And so it's like, okay, first quarter, I'm sitting there, I'm rocking. I'm rocking. Yes, everybody does sickle cell rock. I'm sitting there, I'm rocking. I'm like, okay, let me take my meds, whatever. Take my little meds. Second quarter, now I'm like, I'm like rocking for real, like I'm in a rocking chair. Third quarter come, my sister's like, you made it through third quarter. I was like, there's 4 quarters in football. She was like, oh. But I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah. And my son is down there. I made it through halftime at least. I was like, he has to go on the field. Like, so I'm suffering in the stands, just waiting for him to make it through halftime, and then I could pull him out the stands or whatever. Mm-hmm. So at the end of third quarter, after they've done the halftime show, whatever, I'm like, somebody get my kid. We gotta go to the hospital. Like, mm-hmm. But it just was like one of those things where I was so mad with myself for like ruining everybody's experience.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of the guilt that weighs on us. We don't even want to really admit that we're hurting or probably need to go home in those times.
Yeah.
We don't
I done got so good to the point where I just know how to play it off.
Depending on who it is, they can tell.
Like my mom.
My grandma.
Boy. They can look at you. Something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
Yeah.
When my grandma called me on the phone, sometimes she be like, go ahead to the hospital. Call me when you check in. I be like, Grandma, how you know that? I can hear it
in your voice.
Yeah.
Yep. She got that power. Mama's got that power.
Like with my son now, like I would be home and I would be like laying in a ball on the floor, and he'd be like, "You want me to call Grandma?" I'm like, "No, don't call her. I'm fine." Cause I know my mom's at home chilling. I don't want to bother her. I don't want her. It's late at night or whatever. I don't want her to have to come out in the nighttime and all that kind of stuff. And then my son will disappear, and then he'll come back and hand me the phone. I'm like, I told you not to call her. But he's taking care of me. He's looking out for me, and I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm just mad at the fact that we're in this place where somebody has to look out for me sometimes because I'm stubborn and I don't want to bother people, or I'm thinking about other people before I'm thinking about myself.
Yeah, that's a lot of, if not all of us. So Taylor, you have a unique experience because your brothers have sickle cell too, right? So how was it? Because a lot of us, I know for me especially, I'm the only one in my family with the disease. And I still, besides Jennifer and the people that I've met, over time, there was nobody really to understand what I was going through.
Yeah, so for number one, it kind of run in my family because I have a aunt actually on both sides with it.
Wow.
My aunt on my father's side passed. The aunt I got on my mother's side, she's still with us. Okay. But hers is not as severe. So with my brothers, I guess we just know what to do for each other and with each other, and we just know. But I know when we were younger, I'm gonna say this, my mother is a strong lady. Yes. Because when she was working at AT&T, she was working there for almost 30 years. It been times where all three of us was in a hospital room. My older brother here, I'm here, my little brother here. Mm-hmm. My mama in this room, my daddy over here, my grandma in there. Wow. And they tried to fire my mama several times, but she wasn't going. Right. She wasn't going, and she wasn't finna let us be without or sick or hurt in her. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I thank God for that. That I have a strong mother. And my grandma too. Her support team was great too. Yeah. So.
The support team is what make us
can make or break the situation.
Because there are people out there that have nobody that's dealing with what we deal with and don't have nobody to turn to. So the support system is really what keeps us going and our immediate caregiver.
I mean, like, most of my family isn't here. You know, it's pretty much my mom and I and my son. So, you know, like my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, they're all away. Mm-hmm. So it's like I don't have anybody to pull from a lot of times. And I've learned, though, over the years that there are some friends who I can call on and be like, hey, can you do this for me? But that's hard for me, though. Yeah. You know, to call certain people. But like my friend Sean, who's been my friend for years, I know that she would do anything for me if she could. So just knowing that you have somebody in your corner, mm-hmm. that's very helpful. And I feel for those who like are in places where they don't have family, they don't have friends. You know, they may have burned all the bridges that they had, because sometimes sickle cell turns you into a mean and crazy type person, and you can burn your bridges mm-hmm. if you're not careful about how you interact with people. So, you know,
yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Agreed.
And then you move to the next place and the next place and the next place, and you're always starting over, and you don't have good care because the doctors don't know you because you moving all over the place. And like, I know that I get, I'm going to say, very, very decent care because my doctors know me. Mm-hmm. But some people don't have the luxury of settling in a place and, you know, having doctors who are knowledgeable about sickle cell, passionate about sickle cell, right. and then knowledgeable about them as a patient.
Right. And a lot of times we are the ones that's teaching the doctors, especially if they aren't hematologists and it's a doctor that you need to see, like maybe a pulmonologist, cardiologist, and you kind of have to teach them about sickle cell.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we could get paid instead of paying the copay. But we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that.
Put it out in the ethers. It'll happen.
Just put it out there. Spirit fingers. So, yeah. You have another unique experience, Taylor. So you have not one, but 2 kids.
Oh, them 2, honey.
And how old is your son?
Yeah, they're my babies. My son is 9. My daughter is 4.
Okay. Did you have any difficulties with your pregnancy with sickle cell?
No. Both of my pregnancy was very different. They was... Okay. I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can.
Okay.
My pregnancies was just like my kids.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
They had their own personality.
The pregnancy, it matched their personality.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so me and Jalil, we be vibing. We chill. Now, that Harmony, she gonna give you a run for your money. So, with Jalil, I think I went into a crisis maybe once or twice at the very end, though. I was like 8 months.
Okay.
With Harmony, I was in the hospital every other month. My blood was too low. I couldn't keep no food down. I was hurting all the time. My breathing was not right. Mm-hmm. But I'm here. So
amen to that. That's good. I'm glad you were able to make it through both of those pregnancies and able to do what you can to take care of them even now. I can't imagine, because I've seen it. I see so many people pass, but I can't imagine. Of course, I can't imagine if I'm deceased, but just leaving your kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's always something kind of like in the back of your mind a little bit too. You know,
and that's still be in the back of my mind today.
Yeah.
Cause I be like, this.
I'm like, I gotta make it. I gotta go home with my kids.
And I know it makes you fight harder.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. So, it
like when I go in the hospital, I ain't gonna lie. When I go in the hospital, I be scared. It's all get out that I'm not gonna go back home. Mm-hmm. Depending on what's going on, though.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just in there for hurting, then okay. But if my blood too low, or my breathing not right, or you know what I'm saying, something like that, I be scared that I'm not gonna go back home.
Yeah, I just have to pray about it because I'm like, it's not my time. I have a child. I need to see my grandkids. I need to see, and that just put that extra fight in me, and I just be cool, like I'll have my little moment, but I'm like, nope, you are not gonna succumb to this.
Yeah,
your child's at home. He might need some help with his homework, whatever it is, whatever is that moment. That thought that I have. But so I guess before we get out of here tonight, and before we thank our sponsors and stuff, I'm gonna give you guys my submission to the open mic thing. And it's funny that yours was titled what it was, as mine is called The Gift of the Curse. I guess we were kind of in the same mind. So here we go. Every day I wonder why I have been gifted this thing that others assume is a curse. I mean, I guess there are a million other things I could have been given, of course. But what some see as negative, I can only see as a plus. It allows me to see that living life to the fullest is a must. We rejoice for the sun, even if for days there's been nothing but rain. And I appreciate my every waking moment more because I really know pain. I'll admit that some days I have prayed to be quote-unquote normal, forgetting that I am the original X-Man. But then I take a minute just to appreciate God's master plan. See, oftentimes we forget to see the blessings that lay in disguise. But all we have to really do is open our eyes. So when our days seem gray, gloomy, and glum, all we need to do is think of the sun. And remember that no one is given more than they can bear. And rely on our inner soldier to help us conquer our fear. To walk around living with sickle cell will never be my own personal hell. She may be a real nasty bitch sometimes, but she can't have my mind. So when others may complain about their plight, I'll offer encouragement for them to not give up this fight. I know that somewhere lies a silver lining, and that's what I'll be continuously finding. The gift of the curse. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
So before we get to our sponsors, I want to make sure that you guys are following us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, under Sickle Cell Awareness 365 or SCA 365. We have a special surprise that we will be announcing next Monday.
So get your pocketbooks ready.
And we will have the unveiling of what that surprise is on the next show on September 28th. So please make sure you are following us because you don't want to miss it. And thank you to our sponsors who are Apex Museum, Mr. Dan Moore.
The GOAT.
Yes, he is, who is, like Jennifer said, the GOAT, the owner of the Apex Museum in downtown Atlanta on the historic Auburn Avenue. Please go down that way because there is a huge mural of Mr. John Lewis, and it's just beautiful. So check out the Apex Museum just to know where it is because they're not open right now due to COVID. Thank you to Miss Tanya Robinson at Kids Stop Daycare and Learning Center. And thank you to Black Professionals Network. We cannot wait to see them and work with them again once everything calms down. And we definitely want to thank Taylor for coming in and
blessing us with her presence.
Y'all are welcome. And thank you for having me. I was nervous, but now I'm not.
You did.
Yeah. You did a great job.
You did. So thank y'all for tuning in.
We are sorry about the technical problems, but we're so glad that you hung in there with us.
Yes, and we have an even more amazing show on September 28th. So y'all come back.
All right, we're out of here, guys. Peace out.
Deadly combo.